So many companies and many organisations are interested in measuring our bodies to understand moods, feelings and emotions. They measure the sentiment of things that we post. So that might be, for example, a new film launch, it might be a new brand redesign, it might even be a political message. And the idea behind this is that these companies measure the emotions, they measure the sentiment of how we're feeling about particular issues, about new media content, about new brands, about new products, and about people. Rather than scanning for text, i.e. words, with images, you quite literally scan to see if people are smiling, whether they're grimacing, whether they're bored, whether they're dissatisfied, whether they're elated, whether they're excited. Facial coding is a way of measuring emotions. It's not about facial recognition, it's about recognition of emotional types. This is used for a range of purposes, primarily in marketing, primarily in out-of-home advertising to measure how people are reacting to ads. So the primary way that facial coding is used at the moment is in-house, i.e. in advertising research setting, to understand how people feel about ads that they're being exposed to, how they feel about particular characters, how they feel about the music in ads, and whether any parts of the ad should be changed before it gets launched on the public.
Sensum would be one of a handful of companies in the emotions research space, and that can span anything from the neuromarket research side of things through to the technologies for being able to measure emotional responses. There are really two groupings of tools to be able to understand emotions. One being social communicative, so outward expression, so it's voice, it's face, it's gesture and motion. And so you could use cameras or microphones or positioning technologies. And then there's the internal autonomic nervous system stuff, which is heart rate, skin conductance, body temperature, and that's largely wearable devices that can measure those. And they can be anything from medical grade through to consumer grade.
Sentiment analysis and facial coding are largely online technologies or used in a professional research setting. But empathic media and emotion-sensitive technologies are increasingly being used in the home in a variety of ways. Amazon Alexa or Amazon Echo is a very good example of them, in that increasingly what we'll see, that it won't just record and make use of what we say, but also how we say. And that makes sense. When we think about what communication is, it's not about just what we say, but how we say it.
Your business runs on data. You have point of sale data, inventory data, logistics data, promotions data. But you've got a huge data blind spot where it matters most, right where the shopper meets the shelf. You have zero insight into the most important interactions in the store. Introducing Go from IQ, a game changer for in-store analytics.
So the key development in the retail sector is to be able to both identify people and identify emotions as they move through streets and as they move through stores. What we're seeing is use of cameras to detect people's facial emotions. We're seeing use of cameras on shelf level to understand their expressions as they're interacting with products and where the products are placed.
I think we've found ourselves in a very strange place. We've gone to a world where we've created tools that can actually show how our bodies are responding. And whilst it's very intuitive and you can feel it if you take time to do so, there's an awful lot of unknowns and a lot of things that happen without your control.
So the key implications of all of this for citizenry is that they're being tracked, their emotions are being tracked in public spaces. Companies have found a way to use behavioural and emotion tracking in a way that is perfectly legal but is ethically questionable.
Once you start into the journey of understanding this space, the implications of it, the opportunities of it, the potential dark sides of it, then at its crux is the need to be transparent in the data. Whose is it? Where does it go? How is it used? When is it used? Why should it be used? When can I choose not to have that engagement? If you take it without my asking, or I'm not quite sure how it's being used or where it goes, you're taking my freedom to have that choice of control. And I think that is the crux of every interaction within the ethical use of this kind of data.